What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Serie career mode. It is episode number 18. Udinese rolling. What a start to the season. 7 wins in our first 12 games. 4 on the trot as well, putting us in to 5th place and only a point outside the top 4 around the third way into the season. Today, loads to get through. It's part 2 of a sloggy season. I'm going to do my best to play all these league games here, plus end on the Coppa Italia last 32 as well. So loads to get through. We're going to dive right into it. Our first game is Monza away from home, aiming to extend what has been a brilliant winning run of 4 and no losses in 5. Forza Udinese. Luca Sudagash. Oh, well done. Brass. Oh, should have had the opening goal. The most encouraging thing about this as well is that we're playing some decent football too. We scored some really nice goals, a couple of nice screamers, good team goals too. And you know, since we started this save, I must be honest, we've played some good football. You know, sometimes I get it. I know I can play on the counter a bit too often, and my goals can be quite similar. But with this Udinese team, we pass the ball around nicely, get everyone involved, and do score some really nice team goals in the process too. Speaking of, Lorenzo Luca denied by Cragno. And Monza all clear. Good start. All is missing is the goal. Thank you. 10 to go for the break. Still deadlocked here. Point away against an alright Monza side. It's not the worst result in the world, but if you want to be a European team, turning draws like this into wins is going to make the difference. Keita. Great ball. Prass for his first of the season. Oh, goodness great. He's really taken a step back, man. Phenomenal first season, mediocre second, hasn't really got going this year either. 5 to go before the break, still tied at 0-0. And again, not the worst result in the world to draw here, but a win. A win is what's going to make the difference. A win is what's going to get us there. A win is what we need. That drops to Prass, denied by Cragno. Come on, man. That goal is surely coming. And from the corner, we'll aim for him. Xhaka, Luca off the line, and then Querfeld hooks it back in, and Luca blocked by our former player, he will say. How on earth have we not scored yet tonight? This is ridiculous, man. One of those games where you're on top from the first minute, and yet you just can't break that deadlock. Dawley's corner, the cheat code, misses it, and cleared. How are we not leading at the break here? Doxy boy, how many times do you say this to the young kings and queens that follow you? You're doing all the right things, just haven't had the reward yet. Don't stop doing what you're doing. Just trust that eventually that pressure will pay off and you'll get your reward. 25 to go, I'm staying positive and I'm trusting that eventually, surely, we'll get what we deserve. Festi tackles, win it back, height the pitch. Gashi, I see you in the middle. And instead it will come to it, and there it is! Finally! The Super Gash Bros! One on the other end's been quiet, but this man has just got us the deserved winner. And like I just said a moment ago, you've just got to believe eventually, it's going to pay off. Despite Alessio Cragno's best efforts, Udinese have surely won it late. I know it sucks, man, when you're trying so hard, you're doing all the right things, you're just putting all the right effort in, and you haven't got what you deserve yet. Just keep going. I know it sucks, but just gotta believe it's going to happen at some point. Udinese, leave it late, but get their just deserves. Big win. Life really is just like that, you know. I mean, if you can see something clearly isn't working, then that's when you look to change things. But, you know, when you're doing all the right things and you're seeing the pattern just hasn't paid off yet, just believe that eventually it will. And it did there. Left it late, we got it done. Right, following game. 5 straight wins. No losses in 6. Udinese in the top 4 a third of the way through the season. But if we're going to stay there, well, we've got to keep it going. And most importantly, we've got to win the bankers. Following game, back home in Udine, newly promoted Salernitana. These are the games that, simply put, have to be wins if we are to be a European side. Forza Udinese. It's always great when you're playing against a team who have one of your players on loan and they start him as well. you've given that team written permission to start that player against you. But it's always cool, you know. So Salernitana got DeLuca on loan. He's starting against us today. We've got someone else on loan as well. I think it's Romano who they've got. Speaking of Luca, oh, that's our Luca off the post, and chance remains alive as Gashi shot his block, gets it back, and it'll drop to Oscar Dorley, who gets a shot away, and oh, it almost just floated in towards that far post. Still 0-0, but fast start. It's always so hard to keep track of your young players when you've just got so many of them out on loan, you know. Oh, what a touch to Luca. Well, keeping tabs on him today was a brilliant first touch there. I'd like to have like a loan manager in career mode, so you can have like a report given to you. As Lorenzo fires in yet another goal in a great start to his second full season with us. Like a loan manager, basically giving you an email at the end of the month and saying, right, here's a list of all your players out on loan, and these are their stats for the month. You know, this player scored 2 goals in the Serie B, and this player, he's injured right now, but he's rehabbing well. You know, just something to help you keep tabs on your various players you've got playing for other teams. Great turn by Gashi. Ball through. Simone Profundi. Back to the Gash. Oh, and he should have got another. I've got him starting CM in this game for Prass on the bench. And I have to say, that's really the only way I can think of getting he and Profundi both in the team at the same time. The Gash CM as part of our midfield trio. And Profundi staying CAM. Dorley finds Luca, and it's literally all Udinese in the early going here. This should be 2. And it is. It was coming. It was coming. 2-0 up, half an hour in, and as things stand on the jinx of it, 6 wins on the trot. Our best run of form since we came here. Yep, comfortable victory. Easy 2-0 win. I think that's 3 clean sheets in a row now, but most importantly, 6 wins on the trot as we remain in the top 4. Best run of form of the entire save, but the question is, how long can we keep it going? Not even at the halfway stage yet. There's a long way to go. Yeah, got to keep your feet on the ground, man. I mean, we're right now in second, although Atalanta and Fiorentina both have games in hand. But even so, long way to go. Long way to go. Okay, Oscar. I'm not getting too far ahead of myself here. So before our next game against Palermo, we got 3 more scouting updates. Well, we might have our first making the academy from Italy. I think we'll do 1 more month's worth of scouting on him. But Vittario Fiore, we already have a Fiore out on loan, but this dude looks like he could be quite handy. Do 1 more month for scouting and see how he looks after that. And from Romania so far, still waiting for the first. I think this guy could be quite good, but again, we'll continue to scout for now and see how he looks after another month. And unfortunately, Switzerland has been a bit of a dud so far, but of course we're only 3 or is it 4 months into a 9-month mission. There's still time. I think this guy could be quite good because of the stats. I often say this when you see a player's got a really bad overall range, but you look at his stats there and you're like, hang on a second, he doesn't look that bad. It's because he's playing in the wrong position. So if we were to give him a scholarship and convert him from CDM to, looking at these stats here, probably CAM or on the wing, it'd have a big overall spike. We'll do 1 more month anyway on these 3 and see how they look after that. So still, no one's made the academy yet, being super selective this season. Just the 1 man remaining in the academy, or 1 boy I should say. That is Tim Fritz at 16 with really solid potential. And as we see Lorenzo win player of the month, go on son, justifiably so as well. The Italian Peter Crouch right now top scorer in the Serie A, and a big reason why we're in a European place. We have dropped outside the top 4 heading to this one, Palermo away in the Isle of Sicily right now, 19th place, 1 win all season long, and this should be a banker. A win puts us back in the top 4. Let's go get it. Forza Udinese. I always like games where, I think I mentioned this before, like the 2 teams are wearing a different shade of the same colour. It's why like Man City versus Chelsea games, for example, you've got like the sky blue versus more of a navy, and in this game here is Serie fires in the opener. It's like a kind of like a blush pale pink for Palermo, and has a bit more of a rosier, more towards the orange side, more saturation, if you will. Am I making any sense here? Is anyone listening? Sometimes I feel like when I go on these sort of like dialogues during my gameplay, where it's not like, you know, a sequence where I'm concentrating too much on being too dramatic with my audio. I think, is this the part where people mute the audio? You know. Oh, Docks is waffling on about saturations in colours. Let's mute this part and wait till the next highlight. Oh dear. Dear, oh dear. Oh, what's he talking about now? Subjectivity, put it on mute. I don't want to hear another chat about the high performance podcast, Doxy boy. Just talk about the gameplay. Oh dear. Pratty's delivery. The cheat code. How's he not scored yet? I will say though, like, it's my favourite part of like doing like videos. It's just chatting about stuff like this that really interests me. Is Gashi makes a great save. Yeah, I just love chatting about like things that I find really, really intriguing. Especially over the past few years where I've gone like on a real kind of like discovery of self-development, I guess. Is that the right word? It sounds a bit wankerish saying that. Self-development. I'm self-developing. Aren't we all self-developing technically? Sounds a bit, yeah, twatish. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I just love chatting about stuff like that. You know, mindset, psychology. I've done a lot of deep diving into that over the past few years. I'll tell you what, I'm about to start a book tonight called The Body Holds the Score. And I'll let you know about it. But I've read a few really cool books like these over the years, and this one is going to be diving into things like trauma, which is going to be a bit triggering, I'm sure. But yeah, I'm looking forward to reading it, man. It should be good, and I'll let you know my thoughts on it once I've read it. 2 goals in the first half, and nothing to report in the second. Yeah, I think we just did that against Salernitana. How we've done it once again. Another win against Palermo. Another clean sheet for Fatos with one eye on that golden glove. And Udinese are back in the top 4. The most informed team in Italy right now. But again, the question is, how long can you keep that form going? Much tougher games to come. But not this one. This should be another banker. Next up, following game, back home. Spezia, newly promoted via the playoffs in the Serie B last season, as we go for what would be our 8th win in a row for Udinese. Come on. Yes, game by game, match by match, week by week, we are continuing to stay in the hunt for a Champions League place, let alone a European place itself. Though of course doing that is going to be a heck of a tough ask for us, especially with a small squad. But you know that the thing is, it's all about the input. You know, I know it's very hard not to get your head in the clouds when things are going this well, but it's all about the input. If you do your job, if you win your games, you will get there. Don't worry about the output. Wait for someone else to tell you you've just achieved success. Just focus on the things that you're in control of, and eventually you will get there. Definitely, without a shadow of a doubt, it is one thing that I've really struggled with over the years. Great ball by Keita. And that is... Someone get in the middle, someone get in the middle, someone get in the middle. And that is just thinking too far ahead and being so ambitious. It's great to have that ambition, but when you like kind of lose sight of the task at hand, that's when your performances start to slip a little bit. When you're sitting there thinking, oh, I could do this in like 3 months. Don't worry about the result in 3 months. Worry about the thing you've got to take care of in the next 3 hours, you know? Even so, still 0-0 with Spezia. Looking for that opening goal against the run of play. Gashi with the save, still 0-0. Pongracic, there we go. There we go. I think that to Festi. We might be able to get one final chance here. You're going to have to push the pace. Let it go right. There we go, there we go, there we go. It's not the quickest as we know, but... You can hold the ball up well. Excellent footwork. But we know this. Oh, yes! We haven't called him the Italian Peter Crouch for nothing. And we haven't called these guys the Super Gash Bros for nothing as well. Fatos on one end of a good save. Georgie on another. I mean, it's goal number 6 this season for Georgie. Decided to start him and not loan him out again. What a decision that was. Right before the break puts us in front. There's the final 8 minutes. Still leading by 1 as Profundi dispossessed. That's the problem with Simone. He is quite light. He's a little lad with not much strength either. Come on, don't lose this late. Don't throw this away. No. Yep, quite felt with it, mate. And I'll go back to Gashin. He's fine. He's fine. Grinding out a 1-goal win against a newly promoted side at home. You know, I've said this a few times now and I'll say it again. When I called this the most difficult version of the franchise I've ever played, I was not exaggerating. Ebosele should have fired in our dagger. Zoet ensures that we don't have it. Even so, we will get the win. Not enough time Spezia to go at the other end. And it is going to be... Oh, another great save there. And the ref won't let us take the corner. That's fine. 8 straight wins and no losses in 9. Best run of form since we arrived here at the Blue Angel Stadium. But again, don't let ourselves get too far ahead of ourselves, man. Focus on the task at hand. Long way to go. Not the halfway stage yet. Yeah, just before that Inter game, which I can't believe I'm saying this, but is a top 2 battle. Oh my god, we cut the gap on the league leaders to 2 points if we win that at San Siro. But pause, Doxy boy, pause. It's not even match day 19 yet, and you're still not even a European side, let alone going for a title. I definitely am thinking, in that game, like I said, we had him starting at CM, and because Pras isn't growing right now, and he's only got 2 assists in 13 as well, he's a really good player off the bench, I would say, with the 88 standard, but I think his time now as a starter in this team is coming to an end. But with Simone, I would trust him more as the CAM, and I would prefer to have Georgie a little bit deeper. Even though he's been more of a direct threat, I just feel as though Simone is just a bit too light for me to be playing deeper at 5'5" with a lack of physicality. Okay, great. Don't get me wrong. Georgie's not the strongest either, but he has got more height on him as well, and a higher defensive work rate too. So I'm definitely thinking, I was originally trying to get him a high attacking work rate. I might change him now and make him a CM. It'll only take him 2 weeks. He's got tremendous passing ability, and we might lose a bit of direct threat, if you will, but I think really that's the only solution I can find to having both Georgie and Simone in the team at the same time. And both having potentially special, both need to start. Right, here we go then. Following game, 5th one today. It's been an unbelievable run, but this is the real test. Inter away at the San Siro, 5 points clear of us in 1st position, and could go even further clear with a win here, ending our unbeaten run. But a win for us would see us cut the gap on the league leaders to 2. What a massive game for Udinese. Now let's see if we're really worth the hype. Naturally as well, we do need to downplay it slightly because we do know that... Ooh! No foul? Really? Wow. Okay. I was going to say, we do need to downplay this run slightly just because we know how overpowered form is. But, oh, Marcus Thuram, what a touch! What a save! What a save by Fatos! To deny one of the top scorers in the Serie A last season, Marcus Thuram. Excellent save to keep it still goalless. And, oh wow, terrible start here. Just gifted him another chance. That's going to go behind for a goal kick. Yeah, we know how overpowered form is, and so we do need to downplay this run slightly, but we also know as soon as you have that winning run ended, you've got to get back on the winning wagon ASAP, otherwise it will take you a while to get your next one. Still 0-0, tough start to the game here. It is always such a fun game when like the surprise package of the division, the informed team, takes on the side. Oh, great block, Xhaka. That are the favourites to go and win the whole thing. It's just like, okay, well done, guys. You're in great form right now. You're playing well, but now what you're really made of? You know, can you stand up to the biggest test of the lot? As Federico Di Marco wins it back, and right now the answer is no. The answer is no. That goal is coming, and there it is. It was on the cards. It was only a matter of time. He denied him earlier. He couldn't deny him again. Marcus Thuram drills past Fatos and puts Inter in front. I swear every time we face Inter, Marcus Thuram scores. Just like every time we face Lazio, Matteo Zaccagni scores. Inter in front, and it was coming. It was coming. The league leaders are going to assert their dominance tonight. John Linton tackle, but it'll drop straight to Bruno Fernandes, who holds off Xhaka and finds Thuram. Great tackle by Keita, but can't prevent the corner. 2 minutes to go before the break, and Inter sensing blood here. Inter sensing blood. And if they go for the kill, like a shark, attacking that man, floundering around in the water, there may be no comeback. Oh, Joe Linton puts it just wide. Udinese are breathing but bleeding. Got to stem that flow at the break. Heal that wound, because otherwise it won't be long before we have been eaten alive. 2 to go, but I'll be totally honest here, whilst we're still technically in this, we're not anymore. Benjamin Sesko wraps it up off the bench. There's levels to this ish. Inter Milan are going further clear at the top. And we ain't ready for this yet. We are not ready for Serie A championships yet. We're not even a Conference League team, let alone Europa, let alone Champions, let alone a side that's ever won a major honour. And to be honest, I'm surprised it took this long for the dagger. Inter with the second, game over. and they're going even further clear in pole position. You have to be careful as well, because like that's the thing about losses. You know, once you've had one, it's so easy to slip into a for goodness sake, for a second there. Whenever I see that boss, I've got to be honest, start to a player conversation, I always fear they're going to say, it's time for me to leave. I was going to say, Matteo, you started every game so far. When you've had a loss, it's so easy to sink into poor form, so you've got to respond right from the next game. Starting with this one, Sampdoria away, Andrea Pirlo's side on Boxing Day. 2 games to go into the halfway stage, and actually we might end when we get there, but we've now gone 8 points behind Inter Milan. I'm not worried about that, man. The most important thing is just keep the teams like Milan, Juve, Lazio, Sassuolo at bay as we try and stay in the top 4. Let's bounce back here. Forza Udinese. To rest a couple of players heading into this game as well. Oh, what a ball. And that includes Lorenzo. In his place, the man who desperately needs his first goal and won't get it yet. Dorley keeps the chance alive, and he'll get it now. Hey. Who've just been knocked down, gets straight back up. Christian Kouame does that, hits the deck after the shot was blocked, and says, hang on a second, that ball step kept in play by Dorley. Let me get back to my feet. First goal since arriving, in for the tie, Lorenzo. Christian Kouame off the mark. To be fair to Kouame, it might only be 1 goal in 13, but this is something which I look into a lot more nowadays because of, you know, advanced analytics, but really, just the gash. A more fair way of looking at it. You might say 1 goal in 13, that's shocking, but this is only his 2nd start out of all these 13 games. So 11 of these games have come from the bench, and off the bench as well. A lot of those appearances have been in garbage time. I've brought him on with like 5 minutes to go, and there's not enough time to impact the game. So I think goals to game ratio is now becoming outdated, an outdated way of looking at things, and sometimes a bit of an unfair way of looking at things. You shouldn't look at goals to game, you should look at goals per minute. What's that ratio? Because Kouame is actually, it might say 1 in 13 in terms of goals to game, but goals to minute wouldn't be that bad. It's why I do often sympathise with strikers when they've been asked to come on with 60 seconds to go. And don't get me wrong, professional, got to do your job. I'm not saying that, remember when Ronaldo refused to come off the bench? I'm not saying that's right. It's not right at all. You're a professional, you've got to do your job. But I do have a little bit of sympathy. And if nothing else, I guess you could say I understand the frustration. You come on with 60 seconds to go. It counts as an appearance, and the chances are you're not going to get a shot, a touch, let alone a goal. So I do understand the frustration with players when they've been asked to come on with such little time to make an impact. Even so, in this game, Kouame has made an impact. Only his 2nd start all season long. And again, this is why I didn't read too much into the ratio. It's not goals per game for me, it's goals per minutes played. What a turnaround this is going to be. Oh, cool as you like. From Udinese as well. And I said to Lorenzo, you need a breather out there on Boxing Day. Too much Christmas turkey. Let Christian have a go. This will be his late Christmas present. And he's given me one himself. A hat-trick for our number 9 in just his 2nd start of the season. 4-0. And when you talk about needing a response on the back of our first loss after none in 9, this is the way to do it. Demolition at Sampdoria. I think we might just do the 1 more game today, because I must say there have been some good games. Even the one we lost at the San Siro was fun to play. Say it all the time. Great sign of a good game is when you can have fun even when you're not winning. So I think we'll probably end on that Milan game, to be fair, because that's a massive one too. And we'll save the cup game to the next episode. But the January window is open, but again, with no money in the budget, we're not going to do anything. I don't want to see anyone leave, man. We're having our best season ever. No one is available. But Georgie is now going to become a CM. He won't have an overall spike, I don't think, but he is now a CM and not a CAM as we flip those positions around. And again, it's a shame I can't get him as involved on the offensive end, but I want to improve those defensive stats to strength as well. And there's no reason why I can't turn him into a really good, maybe roaming playmaker, possibly with those stats. I guess we'll see. Anyway, 3 more scouting updates. Where from Italy, we will continue the scouting of these 4 youngsters here. And from Romania, we will continue the scouting these 3 young players here. Oh, and finally, I think we might have found a gem as well. Finally! Haven't had a player make the academy yet all season long. This might be the first. Leandro Schneider. We'll do one more month's worth of scouting. And, Dennis Muller could be alright as well. And we'll see how these 4 Swiss lads look after one more month. He does look quite good, though, to be fair. So we'll keep our eyes on him. So, again, no one's made the academy yet, being super selective. And there remains just the one boy in our youth team right now. That is Tim Fritz. Yeah, we'll be at the official halfway stage to Serie A season after this. So we might end on this one. It is AC Milan at home in the first game of the new calendar year. Right now, only separated by 2 points heading into match day 19. There's no doubt about it. We're not considering ourselves in a title race, but we certainly are for a Champions League place. And if we're going to stay there, these are the games that will be absolutely massive if we come through, not just with a draw, but with a win. Let's go for it. AC Milan in Udine. Forza Udinese. 19 minutes in, still dead odds at 0-0. And it's one of those games where it's like stick or twist, you know what I mean? This to me is where at times. Georgie shot blocked. Buffon! You're going to ask yourself a very tough question. Try and see out the point and call it a decent result, or be brave and go for a massive, massive scalp. Very, very fortunate goal, but we will take it. Shot deflects, Simone first to react, Udinese in front. It's lucky. It's very, very lucky. First to admit it, I say this all the time. When I've had some fortune, I'll hold my hands up and accept it, because luck will balance itself out. We'll get some bad luck on the other end. It always happened directly afterwards. Shot deflected, and it could have ricocheted straight into that bottom corner. Still leading by 1. As Luca Romero's shot is held onto, and Gashi will just hold on to it. It's still up by 1 here. Yes, if you want to do something significant in life, you do need a bit of good luck along the way. I talked about this in my Fulham career mode quite often. Like, I don't know why successful people always downplay the role of luck and timing. Everyone needs it, man. As Leao is denied by Gashi at the near post, including Udinese. Still up by 1, 8 before the break, and what a massive win this would be if we can hold on to it. But right now, backs against the wall, up against the ropes, and Milan looking to have that pressure pay off. Luca Romero, Charles de Ketelaere, dispossessed, and Gashi will get it away. Joshua Zirkzee, Ismail Benissa, O'Reilly's onside. What a save! Gashi again, and Pongracic gets it away. A coming of age season for the Super Gash Bros here. What a save! Chance remains alive. Joshua Zirkzee. Saved again. Gashi once more. The Super Gash Bros this season coming of age, turning from boys to men. Leading by 1 at the break, but a whole second half to play, and right now it's backs against the wall. Ref, really? Not half time yet? Really? Joshua Zirkzee claimed by the keeper. 45 minutes to go. It's going to be a long 45 minutes. It's all AC Milan. I mean, we might have scored that fortunate goal, but really, it's all AC Milan. I say this all the time. I present the highlights package with no bias at all. It's completely fair. What's happened is what you'll see, and what you have seen is what's happened. AC Milan, dominant despite being behind. And that leveller was coming. Joshua Zirkzee with the equaliser, and now the key is making sure we don't throw away the point from here. Just got to see out the draw, then see out the draw. Oh, no. Woeful. Bottle. Absolute bottle. Zirkzee completes the turnaround, but that's an absolute gift. Awful goal to concede. It's going to be 3-1. It's going to be game. Matt O'Reilly, good save by the Gash. Low down to his left, but wouldn't be enough time to get the ball back and go on the other end anyway. It is going to be 2 losses in 3, both coming against the Milan boys. And AC Milan, from a goal down, are going to pick up a big win with the dagger. Matt O'Reilly wraps it up. We're certainly not ready to be a title contender yet. And maybe these 2 defeats in 3 have showed us we're probably not ready to be a Champions League side yet. A big loss in Udine is how we'll close the episode out. And a wake-up call. Yeah, we could beat the Spezias. We could beat the Salernitanas. But the big dogs, the big Milan boys, clearly not. Big Big wake-up call there. And that'll do it for today's episode of the Serie A career mode, guys. As we take a look at the individual stats halfway through the season, Lorenzo Luca, our top scorer of 19 in the top 8 right now. But it's Borja Iglesias leading the way in the Serie A. I got the Gash in there with 7 in 13. You'd have to see that, though. And right now, Marcus Thuram leading the way in the race. The assist title, Dorley and Luca right behind in 2 and 3. And Jan Sommer is 1 ahead of Fatos in the race for the Golden Glove as well. And as we close the episode out, with a look at the league table right now at the official halfway stage, where it's so tight in this area. Inter might have a 5-point lead at the top, and then it might be 5 points separating Atalanta from Milan and Juve. But on the back of 2 losses in 3, we've now dropped out of the top 4 and dropped down to 5th place. Hey, I would have taken Europa League football at the start of the season and bitten your hand off to get it. But knowing how close we are to a Champions League place, a whole half the season to go, I guess the question is, how is it going to go? Will we stay in the race for a top 4 place, or will we be desperate to stay in a European spot of some kind? I guess we'll see. Have a fantastic day though, guys. Much love to you all, and I'll see you for the next episode of Serie A career mode with the remainder of the January window, more big games in the Serie A, and our first Coppa Italia game of the season as well, very soon.